Record. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have Arnoldo Herrera. Didn't screw his name up this time. The whole world's going to know. You know, Arnoldo is a NCAA All-American, Northern Michigan University swim dive alumnus. And we're proud, so proud to have him in our ranks. And guess what? He qualified for the Olympics in 2021. And man, I say this for all of us. We are so happy for you. So happy. So Arnoldo, could you tell me a little bit about, you know, where you started when you were, you know, a little tadpole, and then, you know, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, so both of my parents are marine biologists, and since we have coast on both sides of our country, in the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean, so we have a lot of water here. So my parents decided to introduce me to the swim pool since I was a baby for security reasons. It's really important to know how to defend yourself. And another thing was that I'm asthmatic, so that helped me deal with the whole crisis that I can get, you know, around the year. I started in a competitive way. It was when I was 12 years old, right when I was starting high school. So it was around 2009. That's when I started with the team. Before that, it was just like summer lessons, just to do something while I was not in classes. So yeah, I think I'm a pretty late starter on the competitive. Talking with all my friends, that most of swimmers, yeah, most of swimmers, they started since they were kids. So yeah, I moved to NMU 2016 winter. I was a transfer student. Awesome team, bunch of guys from all over the world. Amazing. And since then, even before that, I had my main goal was always to be able to represent my country at an Olympic game. And well, thanks God, now we have the spot in there, and we will be representing Costa Rica in actually in a month. I will be flying out from Costa Rica to Japan.
Let me interject there. For those people that don't know it, only 10 people from the country of Costa Rica of all sports are going to the Olympics in Tokyo, and Arnoldo is one of them. And there are two swimmers, a young lady and yourself. And they call it a wild card. How does that work?
So it depends on every sport has a different qualification system. So for most of the sports, they have the wild card. I'm pretty sure it's for all of them. You have the wild card option, which is given by each international federation through the International Olympic Committee. So when a country doesn't get a qualification spot by, let's say, the minimum times that they do, for example, in swimming or track and field, or by points on, I don't know, judo or wrestling. They have that option to be able to get an athlete or a couple athletes, depends on the federation.
What an experience that's going to be for you. I mean, I don't even think you know what's in store, do you? I mean, did they give you, does anybody talk to you about this? Like what's going to happen and how it's going to happen?
Yeah, we knew since the beginning the three options for qualifications, either doing the A cut, which is really hard. Pretty much if you do the A cut, you are going to be top 8 in the Olympics. Then we have the B cut. And then we also knew that in case we didn't hit the A, B cuts, we had the wildcard option. The wildcard option, the thing is not secure. That's the option, but it depends on the FINA in this case, the
Yeah, in other
International Federation.
countries, right?
Yes, and there
How
are a
crowded
lot
that
of
field
countries
is. Yeah.
because for each event, 200 breaststroke, 100 breaststroke,
Your events.
800 free, yeah,
Yeah.
they have a certain amount of athletes that can compete. So I think it's like around 40 athletes that can only be going for each event. So yeah, you have these athletes that already secured the spot through the A cut. You have a bunch of B cuts that are also competing for the spots, plus all the countries that didn't make any cuts and are competing for an invitation. Um, but yeah, I think the most easy way for you guys to understand the Walker is you guys use it a lot on all the sports, and I think the recent one was in
Well,
the
they do it in basketball tournaments.
yeah, for the last winner on the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, they qualified through a wildcard because they were
Right.
not the champions.
Right.
So it's the same system. When
Yeah.
you didn't qualify through the first options, then you can get an invitation.
Yeah. So tell me about you know, did you get a whole new coach, or how's that work, and how are they prepping you for this, extraordinary experience?
Yeah, so I have been practicing since all this time in Costa Rica with the same coach,
Since
the
we
same
last
swim.
had our video. Yeah.
Yeah, Pablo, he's my coach here. He has always been my coach here. The same swim team. I still practice in the same club. He's from my hometown. Um, so yeah, well, of course I changed coaches when I moved to Marquette, which is Hedy
Yeah.
and Matt, and I can still call them coaches because every time I go to NMU and I need to keep practicing, they actually help me a lot in there. Um, so that's amazing. I'm really grateful for that because you don't really get that opportunity from all the coaches. And I actually was there last year. As soon as borders opened in my country because of COVID, I flew up to Marquette to see my girlfriend, and I was talking with Heidi, and she actually helped me to practice. Well, I needed to quarantine and get my COVID test, so Heidi helped me to get a pool from a neighbor of hers, so I could swim in there attached with the board a little bit until my quarantine was done. Then I practiced a little bit with the team, with the men's team,
That's
and
great.
oh, it was amazing. I met a bunch of new people because
Zach, you
uh,
meet Zach.
yeah, I practiced with him one of the mornings practices. Yeah, I also swam with Coach Ryan Leonard at the Wildcat Swim Club. He also let me borrow a little bit of the pool time in there.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, it was amazing. They helped me a lot, even with weights. Ryan helped me to use his weights in the basement. Um, so I'm really grateful for that. And actually, that was all my training progress until I ended up going last year in December to Paraguay, where I did my best time ever so far. That actually secured my spot for the wildcard because we had we have a lot of swimmers trying to get that spot, and we use the FINA point system, which is based on how good your time is compared to the world record. So, and also the FINA changed the rules at the beginning. If you wanted to get a spot on the wild card, you needed to attend the World Championships prior to the Olympics. But
Right.
since COVID happened, they open up to any swimmer that had the time to go. So at the beginning, it was just me because I went there, and then they changed the rules, and then I have a bunch of guys that could get the spot, and so it was really interesting because we didn't knew until 3 weeks ago, more or less, that I went to Puerto Rico. That was my last chance, our last meet to try to hit times, and it was a boomer because I got COVID 2 weeks before going to Puerto Rico.
Should have got that
And
shot.
yeah, I got it was really mild. It was actually not bad, but I needed to quarantine at my house for 10 days. And for a swimmer being out of the water one
Right.
day
Right.
is yeah. So I was I was really sad after my two breasts that I couldn't hit my best time. And I was talking with my coach, and I actually thought I told him like I think this might be my last 200 breaststroke in long course because I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm gonna end up making two Olympics. It depends on the other guys swimming. Then we came back here, and I was still ranked first on the men's side, and I'm ranked first either for men's and women's so far. Um, so they were doing all the talkings, trying to say okay, they needed to get all the guys and see who were they gonna take. They choose me since I have the most FINA points and I have been doing the whole Olympic cycle and stuff. So
Good.
I got the notice Tuesday night from my dad. He got a call from the swimming federation. I was here in class, and I actually went down to get some dinner, and he thought I was still here at in my room, and I heard him running upstairs. And I was like, what is going on? Is something bad happening? Because my mom was at swim classes, so it was just my dad in here. And then he ran downstairs and he just gave me a big hug, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? What's happening? Is it something bad? And then he just said like, I just got the call. They just confirmed that they're gonna take you as man for the Olympics. So you're going to Olympics, and I was speechless.
Yeah.
Um, I just hugged my dad back, and I had nothing to say. It was just an amazing moment. I wasn't expecting it to tell us that soon. We were expecting around the end of the month, and well, I gave thanks to God because I that's something that I need to be really grateful for. And then as soon as my mom came back from swimming, well, I called my girlfriend. She cried. She was at the beach, and then my mom came, and I was still on a call with her, and I told my mom, I need to tell you something. And she said, what? And I said, I'm going to the Olympics. And she goes, are you joking with me right now? Are you being serious, or is it one of your jokes? I'm like, no, mom, I'm serious. You can you can ask Callie, you can ask my dad, because my dad was at my grandma's. He needed to take care of her that night, and it was it was just a moment of gratitude,
You know,
and I'm still
I think you're the first NMU swimmer to ever go to the Olympics. I think
I
you're the,
believe you on that. I believe you on that. I'm not. I know NMU probably had some guys on winter sports because those
yeah,
are the
skiing
yeah.
and stuff. But you're making your mark, my man.
Yeah, thank you.
You really are. I mean,
It was always
you're
a
just
dream.
one COVID shot away of getting on that plane, right?
Yeah, so I actually got my first one after Puerto Rico, and now the International Olympic Committee, since it has been a really weird year, and they moved the Olympics a year after. Japan is not doing really good with COVID and
Right.
not with the vaccines because they still have, I think it's
Three
2
percent.
3% so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
So they're really scared. Plus, the people in Japan are really old. I was reading like one in like 1500 in the population are over 100 years old. So that's why they are really scaring there.
Yeah. That. Yeah.
So they have a lot of uh, precaution measurements. So they were like, if you can get the vaccine, you can choose. It's on every athlete. But it won't make any change. It won't. We don't have more freedom if we go there with a vaccine, or we don't have the complete vaccine scheme. But so the International Olympic Committee talked with every international national committee of the countries, and they were like, okay, we can give you some shots if in case your athletes and all the administrative and all the supporting team wants to get it, so they can go to Japan and feel safer and safer for the people in Japan too.
Sure.
So I'm getting my second dose, the Pfizer one, next week. Um, through the International Olympic Committee that they send some doses in here.
Now, have they sent you your plane ticket and everything, or
Not yet.
it's in the mail?
No, I actually we're on some meetings yesterday about the logistics, and it's a little crazy. Swimming, well, we have 10 athletes so far. We have seven women's, and the rest three are men's so far from Costa Rica. We're waiting on some track and field athletes
Oh, okay.
and judo guys,
Mhm.
because the time ends at the end of May, and they are still need to do the ranking thing is to see how they are gonna end up, because it's the top 40 in the world. So they are still in some meets around the world trying to get some points to secure the spot. So we're waiting on some athletes still. Maybe I hope we can get at least two more. Two
Now,
guys.
when do you leave? What's the projected
So,
time?
so we have.
We're crawling up on it.
Oh, the opening ceremony is the 23rd.
Will you be there?
I'm gonna be there. That was something talking about yesterday. They were like, because I wasn't sure, because all the COVID measurements, I was like, they're probably gonna restrict the amount of people going to the opening ceremony. But then yesterday, I was talking with the chief in Costa Rica that is gonna be there for the delegation, and he said, "So you guys want to be in there because we need to, get the tailor suits and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Everything is handmade, and you guys need to look beautiful
Oh,
on the opening ceremony." So we said, "Oh yeah, of course I want to be there." So yeah, and we are allowed to be at the athletes' villages 4 days before the opening ceremony.
good.
But for swimming, Pan Am Sports are gonna give us, I don't know how many countries in the Americas, a little training camp before. So we're gonna be in another city, getting used to the whole, time change and stuff.
Tokyo.
So
Wow.
we're gonna leave tentatively in a month, July 11th. We're gonna move there, be in the training camp, then move to the Olympic Village, and then change the pools because we're gonna go and visit the real deal in there,
Oh,
the
man.
aquatic center.
And I went and looked at the pictures of that pool. It's awesome.
Oh, it looks like a piece of art. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing. I was looking at the pictures, the whole white around the pool. It just looks like it should be in a museum. That thing.
Yeah.
And I will be swimming the 27th, the 200 breaststroke.
Right.
It's gonna be in, I don't know what time, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be around mornings, because we're swimming at 9 p.m. in Japan.
Yeah.
They're usually you have prelims in the mornings, semifinals at night, and then the finals the day after. But
All right.
since
Are you swimming the 100?
no, just a 200,
200?
just a 200. I will be there.
200 breaststroke, ladies and gentlemen.
200 breaststroke, best event out there. Love it.
Now, you have to promise me, I probably shouldn't say this, but you have to promise me you're not going to pull a latke on us when you're there.
I will be around. I was talking with Matt too, so I'm probably gonna do some takeover of the NMU Instagram account. So you guys can get a little like insight of the whole Japan experience in there. We cannot go outside because there's a lot of restrictions. We can only be, it's gonna be athletes villages, pool, or training facilities and back. We cannot get out, but still.
Yeah, well, who cares?
Yeah.
You're the star.
Thank you.
Think about that. I mean, the whole world is going to be watching. I mean, and then you're going to be with the big boys. I mean, big boys.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn so much just from hanging around those guys. I mean,
I have had the opportunity in prior championships, in the world championships. I was actually one. I don't remember where was it. I think it was Budapest. That one of my friends, she doesn't swim anymore, but she used to practice with Chad Leclerc and Cameron Vanderborg, all those big guys, and they were just sitting right behind us, and we get to talk a little bit, and it's funny because you can see an athlete and a swimmer, a top athlete, you'll be like, they're probably a completely different human, but they are like so chill. They enjoy as much as we do. They joke around. It was yeah, it was amazing.
Well, do you want to give a shout out to some of your NMU swim dive teammates or ex-teammates? Just like, like, yo.
Well, yeah. So first for everyone, I think all of us should be really grateful with the coaches, swim coaches, the weight coaches, and any other coaches that we have had around through the years. Because now with the Olympics that we have been getting a lot of media around. The spotlight is always on the athlete, but I don't think we could be there without the whole support system that we have behind coaches, family, friends. So I think we need to be always grateful with the coaches, even when they yell at us and they are really rough on us, because they always want to get the best out of us, no matter what. So a big shout out to Coach Heidi, Coach Matt. A big shout out to all the weight coaches that we had, because we have a lot while I was in Marquette. To Coach Brian that coached me for a couple of days in there and let me borrow his weights.
That's
Uh,
nice.
my friends, Lajos, Esteban,
Bajos.
Angela, yeah, they were like my second family in there. I spent a lot
Did you get to
of
see
time with them.
Lajos when you went up there?
Yes, I always do.
They're
I
having a
always,
baby.
I know. I actually went and see the little baby room, and I'm really excited for them. I'm sure they're gonna be great parents. So
They will be.
every time I get the opportunity to go up there, I always go and hang out a little bit with them. They are part of my family.
We
I
are
think
one big family,
exactly.
all
Uh,
of us.
yeah, and I have more friends like Nathan, Team Seven. He was really happy when he got he even texted me. Um, a lot of guys have texted me around, Jonas, Sam Dickey. I have a lot of other guys and girls even commenting on Facebook posts. Even Alumni, I saw some Randy Thorpe.
Yeah, yeah.
Congratulations. Um, so no, a big shout out to everyone that I swam with, that I practiced with. There's a lot of names. It will take us forever, and
Yeah.
they know
Well,
all of them.
well,
Even
you have a lot of fans, Arnaldo, and
yeah,
we are just tickled to death. And as you said, once a Wildcat,
always a walk.